Hello everyone, I'm Dad Mishima and we're back to bring you another installment of Classic Gaming. This video covers World 4 of Super Mario Bros. 3. Giant Land is not as lengthy as Water World, but there are still some secrets to uncover. At the start of Giant Land, you want to go to the right warp pipe since the one at the south leads to a dead end. As soon as the level starts, you'll notice the giant versions of regular enemies. So let's head to the right. Take out the large Koopa and use its shell to gain a raccoon leaf. Now we need to fly to the warp pipe section with the water stream. Be careful of the green Koopa here since it will respawn after taking it out. When you enter the waterfall at this point, make sure to keep pressing the jump button so you won't be forced down. Now let's head left. That was a close call there. And go down this warp pipe. In here, you will find 2 Big Berthas and 2 1-ups. Avoid the enemies as you go to the right. At this point, use the raccoon power to glide down to the right. You will land on a giant warp pipe. Continue forward and go into the warp pipe at the end to finish the level. If you want to unlock the White Mushroom House, 4-2 is the way to do it. We need to collect 22 coins here, and we also need to avoid the water since the Cheep attacks cheaply. Your success here relies on the P block. Make sure to collect every coin that you possibly can. Now that should do it. Continue to the right and enter the warp pipe at the end to finish the level. Now with the White Mushroom House unlocked, we can acquire another anchor item. But honestly, I would rather have another P-Wing. Before we head to 4-3, let's make a quick pit stop to Toad's house. You always want a full inventory of power-ups in this game. "4-3 is the underground section of Giant Land. Avoid the Slash Brothers if you can. They can freeze Mario when they land from jumping, so be careful. Make your way to the right and enter the warp pipe to continue. Honestly, this section can be a problem if you're playing without raccoon power. It also means that your jumps has to be precise as you use the Koopas to cross over the bottomless areas. Take your time and make sure to use the raccoon's float ability to make this level a bit easier. The Spinies behave just like the Buzzy Beetle. The thing is, you cannot jump on them, and it's for the best to avoid them altogether. There's a one-uppy in this area, but be mindful of the Buzzy Beetles and the Spinies here. The wooden block can bounce Mario away, so try not to push against it. Now proceed to the right a bit more, then go up the warp pipe for the exit. Between the new enemy called Hotfoot and the Thwomps, I say this fortress comes off a little cheap. Head right. Keep your eye out for Hotfoot enemies. This living flame behaves like the Boo Ghost, and they will stop you in their tracks if you look in their direction. The key to beating this fortress is paying attention to the Thwomps and keeping the Hotfoot at bay. Oops, got caught there. Once you pass this last swamp, it's time for a boss battle. And yet, once again, it's another day at the office. So here's another water level. Make sure to equip a frog suit if you have one. From the start, swim down. When you reach the bottom, swim into the upside down warp pipe. This room has 2 P blocks to step on. Step on the first one and collect the blue coins. Now hit the second P block and finish collecting the coins. At this point, use the frog suit swim speed to outrun Lakitu's spiny eggs. Keep going to the right, and when you reach the end, go into the warp pipe to finish the level. So the Hammer Brothers here are actually Slash Brothers. Since the Slash Brothers pose more of a threat than a common enemy, it's probably best to go in these mini levels with a star to get the job done. We have 3 Slash Brothers to defeat on the map. So 4-5 is pretty straightforward and it has one secret. Head right, avoid the enemies, and you want to make your way to the tall cannon section. Giant Land was always fascinating to me, especially as a child. This new enemy is called a missile build. They attack just like the bullet build, but they can turn around and come back for you. Now here's where we need to use a tall cannon to reach the vine off screen. Make your way up, then enter the warp pipe. Collect the Tanuki suit if you like, then exit through the warp pipe. From here, use the float ability to glide down safely. Now head right and enter the warp pipe at the end to finish the level. So the second fortress in World 4 has a bit of trickery to its layout, but nevertheless, we will tackle it. Head right. Be sure to make haste across the lava section since the platforms will fall if you stand on them for too long. Oops, that jump was almost fatal. So at this section, we need to head a bit further down. Use the dry bones by jumping off of them to reach the P block. Now enter the invisible door that's surrounded by blue coins for a secret area. Here is where we need to use the arrow lifts to make our way up this long vertical section. You activate them by simply standing on them. Now let's make our way up this warp pipe. And this one. Now we need the arrow lift in order to continue. Jump on this one multiple times to change its direction. It's really for the best to take out the piranha plant so you can concentrate your efforts on riding the lift up. So when you reach the top, enter the warp pipe to continue. Collect the coins, and there's a hidden one up in this room. The giant item block has 3 1-ups. Collect them if needed. Also, if you have the power of flight, fly up towards the upper left area of this room to find another hidden location. Finally, avoid all obstacles and make your way to the right to start a boss battle. Remember that defeating Boom Boom is all about timing with the jump button. 4-6 is the only level where you can change the size of the enemies by entering the doors in the background. Use the Tanuki suit statue form to completely take out the giant Koopa, including his shell. Unfortunately, there isn't any secret or other reason to change the size of the enemies, but it is cool nevertheless. So the rest of the level is pretty much a straight shot. I only wish that there was a valid reason to change the size of the enemies, but there is none to my knowledge. Once this level is defeated, the only thing left to do in Giant Land is World 4 Castle. Before we head out to the castle, let's stop by the Red Mushroom House to acquire another Tanuki suit. To me, this airship is not difficult at all. It's all about memorizing the rocket engine placement. In fact, there is no cannons here nor bullet bills. This level is all about staying away from the rocket engine fire. At this point, just use Mario's glide here to jump across the gap and over the rocket fire. When it comes to auto-scrolling levels like this one, always try to keep Mario near the center of the screen. If he's too close to the right, he can get caught by an off-screen enemy. If he's too close to the left side of the screen, you run the risk of being crushed by an obstacle. So we're getting closer to the end here. Oops, got a little too anxious there. Also, make sure to grab the raccoon leaf at the right before going into the warp pipe. So, the main thing to remember with Iggy is that he jumps a lot. He shoots his wand a bit more often as well. Avoid his wand energy and jump on his head. You have to jump on him 3 times to score the win. So with Iggy Koopa defeated, we can now journey over to the next world. So that's it for this edition of Classic Gaming featuring Super Mario Bros. 3. I'm Dad Mishima. See you in World 5.